Round one of the 2023 NFL Draft is in the books, and we have grades for every pick in the first round, all 31 this year, because, thanks, Miami, for losing your first-round pick. It's all made possible by our good friends over at Manscaped. 20% off and free shipping at manscaped.com/chat with promo code chat. Say all about them later on in today's show. We'll go rapid fire here with the grades, so it's not a 35-minute video. I got yelled at that for last year and also being a little bit drunk on day 3. Bryce Young, my number one quarterback. It's an A for me. I am trying to be a little bit nicer, but not too nice in the grades these days. So number 1 QB goes number 1. Number 2 QB goes number 2. And this is a lot better than the Will Levis, Tyree Wilson rumors out there for the Texans. CJ Stroud and Will Anderson. Talk about one of the biggest winners this year. Stroud and Anderson compared to some of the Wilson-Levis rumors. It didn't even go round 1 out there is a much better haul for the Houston Texans. He's about to go get Will Anderson too, but I think ownership and the coaching staff is pretty happy with this 1-2 punch there. Anthony Richardson, I will give a B-, and this is my number 3 quarterback. Colts were going to take one. It is a gamble. This either looks like a great pick in 3 years or disaster. I will give it a B- for now. There is a lot of upside with Richardson. A lot of stuff that has to be worked on as well. Surprise pick. Devon Witherspoon to the Seattle Seahawks. I have been very mean in previous years to Seattle. I am not mean today. A grade for Devon Witherspoon. My number 1 corner. He and Tariq Woolen. Oh, man, that's a great 1-2 punch. We'll come back to Seattle later on in round 1. Paris Johnson, Arizona, moved down, then moved up, got extra capital, and got a very good offensive tackle. I have Skoronski higher, not by a lot there. I'm not gonna rig the move down. Extra draft capital last year. That grade will be boosted next year. If you include it, it's an A. Just the player, the overall pick here for just this year's draft grades, 2023, not 2023 and future draft grades. Give it a B. You helping out Kyler Murray or your next quarterback certainly makes some sense there. Tyree Wilson also gets a B. I'd have gone Christian Gonzalez, but this is by no means a bad pick. B does not stand for bad. It stands for good. A is great. B is good. C is average, or maybe being nice with some of the C's I gave this year. D is disaster. F is a failure. I haven't given out an F grade in a long time. Maybe that changes tomorrow. Bijan Robinson. This is all about positional value, right? Do you love running backs? You want to take one in round 1? Do you not want to? I think there's an Arthur Smith pick in the end because, they love to run the football down there in Atlanta. He's going to be a consensus, number 1 overall pick in rookie dynasty drafts, whatever. Top 5 player for me. Does not include positional value. Makes it a bit scary. Who is the biggest winner of round 1 this year in the 2023 NFL Draft? Teams only. No players, of course. All the guys that went in round 1 are winners. Who's the biggest round 1 winner? Sound off in the comments. Just the pinned comment of today's video. The ad break comes here on YouTube. Take advantage of it. Head down there and let us know. This Eagles is going to be a popular answer, and for good reason. Jalen Carter, one of their 2 first-round picks. A for me. Off-field stuff is a valid concern, but the player is number 2 overall on my board. It's a great pick for Philadelphia. Darnell Wright, slide down, get a future for next year, so a little bit of extra draft capital there. I give B-. I have better linemen on the board, but if you wanted the pure right tackle, the best one at right tackle in this year's class, that was Darnell Wright. So I'm not mad at it. I'm not over the moon in it in the same way I am for Peter Skoronski. I love the pick. Mike Vrabel's happy. Whether he's a guard or a tackle, I think he's the best offensive lineman in this year's class. He's the 3rd one off the board. You get immense value at number 11. Impact plug-and-play starter at almost, I think, any spot on the offensive line. O-line was terrible last year. Your biggest need with the best player at this position, that's an A-plus pick for me. Well done, Tennessee. Oh, Detroit. You trade down, so again, extra capital will boost their overall grade later on in this draft. Jahmyr Gibbs at 12. Oh, he's explosive. He's electric. Trade away from Christian Gonzalez, pass on him again. You go with the running back in the first round? That's a little bit dicey as far as I'm concerned. That makes things scary from that perspective. I'll give it a C-. I might be being nice. We'll get to their other pick. I hate it even more. And spoiler alert, I'll save the spoiler alert for later on here. But we will be live once again right here on Chat Sports for day 2. I think that'll be Will Levis on the thumbnail because I thought it'd go round 1, so we put Hendon Hooker on there in advance. But we'll get that changed to Will Levis. Make sure you guys are subscribed, youtube.com/@chatsportstv. Let's hit a few more picks here, and we'll tell you about today's sponsor, Manscaped, after that. But we'll go to a few more of the round 1 grades for you guys. We'll do grades every night, by the way, so again, make sure you're subbed. Lucas Van Ness, one of the few picks I got right. Player-team match there. I got a couple spots right, but got that one right. Van Ness, early for me, but classic Packers pick, so I get it. Just not in love with it. I do like Broderick Jones. Jets got sniped, by the way, at number 14. Steelers don't get their left tackle of the future. A- there. Not too much given up draft capital-wise either. Boy, Will McDonald. I thought I was higher than most on him. He goes 15th overall to the Jets, who just took an edge in round 1 last year in Jermaine Johnson. He's 24 years old. He's an elite bender. Round 1, I get. 15? I can't get on board with that one, but I do like the player. He wasn't that 24th on my board, so don't love it, but I'll at least give it a C. Now, today's show is made possible by Manscaped. The draft is here. I am still on a high from the Red Bull in particular. The most exciting prospect, though, is probably being perfectly groomed head to toe with our friends over at Manscaped. As they have long had elite downfield play with the Lawnmower 4.0, they got the rookie sensation with the Beard Hedger. Ensure the face of your franchise is a pretty one, or at least an improved one. The 1-2 punch of men's grooming is the best acquisition for any at-home GM. Go to manscaped.com. Save some salary cap with promo code CHAT at manscaped.com/chat. Plus 20% off and free shipping as well. Go from Mr. Irrelevant to a first-round pick with Manscaped. That is manscaped.com/chat. Promo code is chat as well. Again, that link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Let's go to Slenderman, Emmanuel Forbes, who, if the board had fallen differently, I would have given it a higher grade. But I see Forbes go 16, who is great ball skills, but he's 166 pounds. I don't love that. Then I see Christian Gonzalez go number 17. The Patriots doing the draft pick I love? This is weird. Normally I hate Seattle and New England's drafts. I love what they did this year. Christian Gonzalez, a top 10 player for me. I'm not sure why he slid. Maybe there was a medical thing we didn't know about. Patriots also traded down and got Gonzalez. That was a top pick for me in this year's class. Okay. It's funny. There were mock drafts out that had Lions getting Jahmyr Gibbs and Jack Campbell. Not in the first round. Or at least not with 12 and 18. Jack Campbell, the first linebacker off the board at 18. He was, I think he was one of the lowest graded players. I'll double check here, who was actually drafted this year for me. He was 43. Yeah, that was the lowest graded player I had taken in round 1. Second round pick. 18. I had 2 other linebackers above him. Look, he's going to be a good fit in Detroit. I get all that. They got extra picks, so like the volume will make it worthwhile. I won't lie to you guys. I don't like the pick. That was my least favorite pick in round 1. What do you think was the worst pick of round 1? You can be honest. You can be mean. And you know what? We can do the freezing cold take stuff. That does not bother me. The whole point of grades is that we're going to be right and wrong sometimes. That's okay. You can be mad at me. I'm not going to be offended by it. Worst pick in round 1. Sound off in the comment section. I just can't see. It was the Bucs. No one. I don't think anyone had that mock pick going on there. He's a bit of a weird fit in a 3-4 scheme. I don't love that. That's why it's a B-, but the athletic juice is certainly there. How about Jackson Smith and Jigba? A-. If you want to go straight A, that's fine, but I didn't want to give out too many A's because I'm trying to be balancing mean and niceness there. Seattle, one of my favorite drafts in back-to-back years. For years, I have bodied John Schneider and Pete Carroll. My profile picture is the Rashad Penny pick. I was right, by the way. Get my number 1 corner, my number 1 receiver. Seattle, big-time winner so far. And this was the run on receivers. We'll go rapid fire. Quentin Johnston, Zay Flowers, Jordan Addison. B- is across the board. I had them in late round 1 or early round 2 grades. They were like 30 to 32 on my board, so no real reaches, but it's not a home run value pick there. I like it in the end for those 3 teams. I'll give it a B-. Deonte Banks to the Giants. How about a B+? Producer, my guy Marshall's hyped. I don't blame him. I did have Joey Porter Jr. higher. In general, Michael Mayer, JPJ not going round 1 shocked me. It's a huge, maybe there's something going on the field we don't know about or an injury stuff. Big shock there. Deontay Banks, it's a good pick by the Giants. Tight end, Dalton Kincaid. The Bills thought Dallas was going to take a tight end. I don't think they were. If you believe Jerry, Mozzie Smith, who we'll get to, was their 14th ranked player. True or not, I don't know. 2 tight ends set now with Dawson Knox and Kincaid, who I don't love as blockers. So that's kind of a red flag for me. All right, best pick in round 1. I go Skoronski or Gonzalez. Who was your favorite pick in the first round of this year's draft? Sound off in the comments section. Favorite pick of the first round of this year's NFL draft. Mozzie Smith. Look, I'm a Cowboys fan. I was mad about Tyler Smith pick. I was hyped about other ones. Hated Tristan Hill. I'm okay with this one. It's fine. It's good. He is early second round grade for me. I have screamed for years. We made T-shirts about fatties only, and now I have one that makes me excited. I'll give it a B. I did want JPJ or Michael Mayer. Anton Harrison. Hey, Cam Robinson gets suspended. Now they go left tackle. Harrison the pick here by the Jags. Not that early, but I'm not in love with Harrison. I think he needs some development, and that doesn't help with the Cam suspension. How about Myles Murphy to the Bengals? What a fantastic pick. I had Myles Murphy as a cheater grade, 17th overall for me on the board. Bengals won on Emmanuel Forbes. They are thrilled with Myles Murphy. Bengals keep winning the draft. Brian Brzee, it was all. I think the Saints and the Chiefs. Those were thinking about Mozzie Smith too. There, by the way, they take Brian Brzee. Boom or bust upside player. 42nd on my board. You're picking 29. It's not much of a reach there because 40 and 29 were the same grade overall. So fine with it. Just not in love with it necessarily from that perspective. So Brian Brzee, the pick there. From Clemson for the New Orleans Saints there. Number 30, how about Nolan Smith? Eagles are a smart franchise, guys. I'm not sure why Nolan Smith fell. I think I had him at 10, which is back-to-back years. I think I had Jermaine Johnson earlier with the Jets, and they took him later on. Eagles do the exact same thing. Nolan Smith was a cheater. It was a first-round grade for me, 15th overall. Good job, Philly. And then the local kid, Felix Anudike-Uzomah, who was my, I think my best edge, second best edge on the board at that time there. 28th overall. I'll give it a B. Again, the 28 to 45 are all the same grade, so I'm giving it similar draft grades, just even though the numbering was different on the board. I would have loved to see Michael Mayer on this team. Wouldn't that have been fun? JPJ too. But it's a solid pick for KC. Local kid. I think KC went wild for it. And I'm a big fan of FAU. I think he's going to be a damn good edge in the NFL. So that is it for our round 1 grades. Be live again tomorrow. Day 2 grades as well after the day 2 ends. And final grades from a marathon on Saturday.